You
That's a
had a
very good
wonderful
example.
phrase. You quote William Davies, this is a professor at Goldsmiths College, calls about neoliberalism the disenchantment of politics by economics. Oh, that was great. You also,
Yeah,
this is you, you said neoliberalism is a political neutron bomb. Uh, the outward structures of politics, such as elections and parliaments, remain standing, but following the irradiation of market forces, little political power remains to inhabit the space between the facades. This is Sheldon Wolin. I don't know if you've read his work,
mm, mm,
Democracy Incorporated. Uh, let's talk a little bit about what you touched on before, which you write about in the book, this what you call the spiritual void.
mm.
And I think that is, again, as you mentioned, directly related to these diseases of despair. 100,000 people in the United States die every year from opioid overdoses. Uh, you have all of these pathologies, which Emil Durkheim said were a consequence in his book Suicide of what he calls anomie, this disconnection from society, and then these self destructive behaviors predominate. So it is poison. Neoliberalism is poison almost every aspect. But let's talk about that spiritual void.
Yes. So it's a question of the meaning and the purpose with which our lives are invested. And this is absolutely essential to our psychic well-being. Unless you think you have a useful role in society, and unless you think you have some purpose which transcends your everyday life and your everyday interactions and your getting and earning and spending, um, your mind will fall in on itself. I think this is what we're seeing on a massive scale. And this disenchantment of neoliberalism, it disenchants us with everything which cannot be measured in dollars and cents. Even the natural world now, there's this attempt we're going to save nature, we're going to save the world's living systems by putting a price on them. This natural capital agenda we see now right across the world. And of course, it does nothing to save living systems whatsoever. All it does is to create a new frontier for capital. But in doing so, it tells us these systems are not innately valuable. Never mind the wonder, never mind the joy, never mind the astonishment of living in this fantastic natural world. They exist purely to serve us and purely to serve us in instrumental and monetary terms. And if we go with that agenda, and some people do, they destroy that relationship as well because they've instrumentalized it. And that sucks the spiritual marrow out of us. It destroys something. It's very hard to put your finger on. You can't say, this particular thing has been taken away from me and I feel this particular loss, because it goes beyond something that can easily be measured or even easily be described. But it's something which I think is absolutely fundamental to our well-being, which is the meaning not just of our place in the world, but the meaning which transcends that place that the world reflects back to us.